Hello! Welcome back. It's been many a year since I have spoken to you in any capacity, probably, on this platform. Um, I just got really bored and was like, I want to whip out my 2014 MacBook Air and a cheapo shotgun microphone and stick a lamp in my face and tell you about my phone change, essentially. I used to have an iPhone. I still own it, but I have downgraded my phone. So I felt like that was maybe worth talking about because I wanted to assess kind of the pros and the cons of it and whether I like it and just share with you guys my experience so far in case you were thinking about it. I should have expected this, but my computer is so old that it has absolutely no storage, and I recorded a video that was a little bit too long. I was talking about my motivations and why I wanted to get rid of my smartphone, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory probably these days. And I showed you this little WhatsApp built-in feature because part of my hesitation in getting rid of my smartphone was I didn't want to lose WhatsApp, so I found out that smart flip phones exist. And this one runs an Android operating system, so it has WhatsApp pre-installed, and it has a little notification light even for WhatsApp messages. And I have been really enjoying it so far. I've been using voice messages rather than texting because obviously you have to click the number pad a bunch of times to get the letter up, which I was laughing about the fact that there's actually people who might not be familiar with this on Earth now, and saying it's really cool because you can just open the back and replace the battery. I think that was most of what I was talking about, and I'm just gonna play through and you'll get the gist, and it'll probably be a nice, more concise video now because I've lost all my yapping. R.I.P. yapping. Moving on, I guess, to like pros and cons of it. We've discussed a lot already. I've yapped about the pros not being very accessible all the time to everybody. Actually has made a huge difference. There's been like weeks that I've not been on Instagram. I have unfortunately started again because I've been looking for like tiny home inspiration, which is again a whole different story, but I've been looking on Instagram for that and I have gotten sucked in. It's just so easy to get sucked in, so I need to stop. I'll occasionally go on and like post some pictures because I like having a little collection of pictures that I can look back on and kind of smile at without having to scroll through like a billion pictures on my iPhone. But I would say the cons of the flip phone. One big one is that in Scotland, well, I guess probably the whole UK, if you buy a rail card, so the trains will sell you rail cards for like 30 or 35 pounds a year, and they will give you a third off of all your fare if you're not traveling a certain distance at like a peak travel time for a commute. And I obviously have always had one, but they renew annually, so they last a year. And when you buy one, you can buy one virtually on like the Trainline app or whatever app you've got for buying tickets. And once you buy it, you can't duplicate it, so you couldn't ask for a physical rail card if you've already got a digital one. And I renewed mine in July last year, and it's on my phone, my iPhone, on the app. So I need to wait until July, essentially, so that I can get a new rail card and then ask for it to be a physical one. And then I can not carry my iPhone with me everywhere I travel. So at the minute, every time I go by train somewhere, I need to have my iPhone, which is so irritating. So it's caused me actually like a few times problems with trying to travel on the trains. The train tickets, even once you download them on your phone, they need to be like activated. So I once brought my phone with me and my ticket was on my phone and my rail card was on my phone, but I didn't have data on my phone, obviously, because my SIM card is in this one. And so my iPhone that I had brought the ticket on and everything, you need to download the tickets So you purchase the tickets and they're there on your app, but then you need to download them. And then you need to activate them when you want to use them. And I forgot this because why, after I buy a ticket, is there 2 further steps to access the ticket? It's so silly. And I was on the train and I realized I hadn't downloaded and activated the tickets. The train Wi-Fi wasn't working. And the person came around to check the tickets and I was like, oh my God. It's just always a fiasco when I try and travel on the train now. So I think I need to just suck it up and renew my rail card a month early and just get a physical one because I'm at my wit's end. The other sort of not issue so far, but would potentially be an issue, is that I can't access Google Maps when I'm traveling. So, so far I haven't really gone anywhere that I don't normally go, so I know how to get there. But both of these problems have a positive side because, for example, in the situation that I had forgotten to download and activate my tickets, I was sitting across the table at the train from a guy who very kindly was like, I'll give you a hotspot. So I sort of spoke to him for a bit. He gave me a hotspot. Everything was resolved. I interacted with a human, which I wouldn't have done if I had just been on the train with my iPhone. And then when I once needed to know how to get to Waverley Station from the Botanical Gardens here in Edinburgh, I went to the bus stop. I thought probably the 27 that was coming was the right bus to get, or it would take us close because they all go to or near Princess Street at some point. So I got on the bus and I spoke to the bus driver and I said, how close do you get to Waverley? And he said, about a 5-minute walk. And I said, what stop is that? And he said, Hanover Street. And I said, thank you very much. And I got on the bus, and it sounds really silly, but that again was an interaction I would not have had. And obviously that guy knows. He's a professional. He's a bus driver. Like, he's going to tell me how to get to where I'm going. So, and if not, maybe somebody at the stop would have helped, So I think just getting back in touch with the fact that we can operate as a society offline as well, and people can help. People will help, if you ask, which is originally scary, I suppose, if you're used to everything being non-social and look-upable and everything. But yeah, there's been a lot of positives as well as the negatives. It's not actually as inconvenient as I originally thought. Granted, I do need to carry an actual purse everywhere now and not just my phone, because previously I had one of those pop socket wallets attached to the back of my iPhone, which would hold 3 or 4 cards that you can sort of just push up to access from the back of the phone. And that was really nice because I typically then could just pick up my phone and I would have all my cards for traveling and paying and ID and everything like that. But it's kind of better having my purse because then I always have a book with me and I always have my house keys with me as well, because if I just pick the bag up, it's fairly easy. So I'm just going to try and focus on having one bag, not many to switch through, and then I can carry everything I need, like sunglasses, allergy medication, like that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's been a really interesting journey, and I would hugely recommend switching to one of these phones, especially if you're in the UK and you use WhatsApp and that's what's keeping you from getting rid of your smartphone. I mean, keep your smartphone. I use my banking app at home. I use my email app at home. I sometimes go on Instagram at home, but I really, really like not having my smartphone with me when I'm out and about, because you really then resist the temptation to just scroll, not look at other humans, not look out the window, not do this or that. And it's so funny how quickly you start to feel disconnected from that type of lifestyle, I guess, because it actually doesn't translate in my head anymore why I would want to be on my phone on the bus, because I feel sick. Like my phone on the bus makes me feel sick. And if I'm feeling all right, I'll just read my book. And I've just been staring out the window a lot. You know, the scenery is so nice. We drive through the country, drive into the city, and Edinburgh is really pretty. And it's just like, here we go again. It's just a really nice way to spend the commute, like not having to think about things, if that makes sense. And interestingly, you know how when you lay down to sleep at night, that's when your brain finally relaxes enough to be thinking about things? Turns out, if you're not on your phone all the time and you're not bombarding your brain with information, your brain can achieve that during the day so that when you lay down at night, that's already over with. Like you've already thought your thoughts for the day, if that makes sense. So yeah, just discovering a bunch of things that we always have really known and really enjoying my no phone life. If you have any questions, and I'm sure I didn't do any of this justice because this is so off the cuff, just on a random Monday morning. But yeah, if you have any questions about it, then let me know because there's probably much more that I could say about this. I love how kind of old-timey vibes it is, but it's actually like pretty big as a flip phone. It's very, like, the size is pretty huge, and I like the fact that it still runs apps and everything technically just enough to be functional. So yeah, it's got an alarm on it and everything too. You can turn Bluetooth on. Like I have Bluetooth on. I've never tried it actually. And the funniest thing is, you can play the radio. Let me see if I can find it. It might be under. Okay, I love that this social media app has Facebook Lite, YouTube, internet browser, and email. Email being social media is the most amazing concept. Okay, let's see. File manager, calendar, which I don't use because it's not very easy to look at. It's just one day at a time. It's not settings. I might have actually gotten rid of. Oh, my Bluetooth is off. I will get back to you about this. Hold on. Okay. I have gotten Peter's little Bluetooth speaker. And I'm going to try my darndest. I'm going to turn the Bluetooth on. Bluetooth on. Turning on Bluetooth. Pair new device. Oh my god, this is crazy. Let me see. How do I do this? Wait, I just turned it off. Hold on. It's pretty loud, sorry. I think maybe it's this button. Is it that button? How do I do this, bro? Available devices. Oh my god. This is like, I am such an old person. Okay, so it's asking me to find available devices. Okay, so I'll hit that button. But I need to figure out how to pair this first. This is iconic. I feel like this is so, like, I'm officially not a youth. I'm not one of the youths that understand. Oh, it's flashing. Okay, I know a flashing light means connect. Come on. Available devices. Wonder Boom. Can you see it? Sounds like it's paired. It's paired. Okay, but what can I play? I don't have any music downloaded on this. I know that there is a way to play the radio from this. So let's see if I can find it. So settings, menu visibility. I might have hidden it. Let's see. Oh, multimedia. That's probably what it is. I'll turn that back on. I had removed my multimedia app from my home screen. Oh, look at this. You can literally play the radio from this. FM radio. Let's see what's on. Guys, this is coming from the... Oh! I caught the better signal! Okay, I better stop this before I get flippin'. Yep, okay, we're turning that off. Well, it's still going from here. That's so funny. I actually can't remember how to stop it. Oh, quit. Quit or play in the background. Quit. So you can play... Wait, that's so funny. If I wanted to, I could connect my Bluetooth, like AirPods, probably. Do they connect to non-Apple devices or are they a scam? Anyways, I could connect my headphones to... There's even a headphone jack! I could connect my headphones to this and, like, listen to the radio. The actual radio on the bus. So yeah, that's another option. Like, this phone really has something going for it. And it's funny, because sometimes the battery lasts me all day. And sometimes the battery... Well, I mean, sometimes it lasts for multiple days. Sometimes the battery dies quite quickly, so I think I need to be better about turning off things that are running in the background. But it's also really funny because I had this revelation. I was at work, my phone was dying. Peter needed to be able to contact me around 4 when I got out of work. And I didn't have my charger with me, which I just have started to pack. Just pack the charger. It's not a lot to carry in my purse. If my phone isn't 100% charged when I leave. So I realized as I was sitting at my desk, this is going to sound so dumb, because when I had my iPhone, I would just leave my phone on all the time. It would be on overnight, so my alarm would go off in the morning. I would just charge it overnight, and the battery would last all day. So I never thought about this, but I realized in the middle of the day at work that I can turn my phone off. I know, it's so stupid. It's so dumb. But I had the realization. I was like, I could just turn off my phone and put it in my bag. And as I turned off my phone, which it makes a cute little noise, by the way. Listen to this. Oh, wait. Power off. So cute, and it gives a little buzz. I had not turned my phone off for so long before that. Like, I can't actually remember the last time that I turned my iPhone off. It probably was for, like, a film, like, at the theaters or something. So yeah, a lot of novel experiences that I would highly recommend, and it has the same size SIM as an iPhone. I think it's just like a micro, whatever they're called, mini or micro SIM or something. Not the teeny tiniest, but yeah, standard iPhone size SIM. And so you could go back and forth. If you got one of these phones, £60 investment, and you know, you can detach when you want to. You can go back to your iPhone when you want to. The only annoying thing is having to transfer WhatsApp back and forth, because WhatsApp only lets you run it from one phone at a time, which, what's up with that, by the way? I feel like whatever devices I want to have access to my WhatsApp, they should. So I'm not 100% sure why it does that, but I didn't lose my WhatsApp history, because if I put my WhatsApp back onto my iPhone, it would still be there, but the history of the messages is attached to one phone, essentially. And then the ability to receive messages can only be used on one phone at a time. So that is my probably biggest gripe, is that if I'm on my iPhone here at home with just the Wi-Fi and responding to things on like Facebook Messenger or whatever, then I can't see my WhatsApp messages, and I can't even get my WhatsApp messages unless I went through the process of getting the verification code and transferring my access across to the other device or whatever. So WhatsApp's kind of irritating, but the rest has been great, and it's easy to just keep your smartphone at home and still continue to use it when you have to, but not to have access to everything all the time, and therefore have everything have access to you all the time. So yeah, I would highly recommend. And thanks for joining me for my stream of consciousness chat about my phone downgrade. And hopefully, I'll see you guys soon to talk more about everything else that's been happening in life.